Fanboys, bad news. It's time to break down period 3, and as bad as LeBron was in periods 1 and 2, he might be even worse in this period. Sometimes I start to doubt myself. I'm like, is he really this bad? Did I just break down what I think I did? Did I really just see the stats that I did? Was he really as terrible? Is my bias causing me to see things that aren't there? But they're there, and I'm going to show them to you. For those of you who haven't seen the rest of the series, this is Game 4 of LeBron James and the Lakers getting swept in 2026 by the Thunder. And my premise is they didn't need to be swept. I'm not saying that they would have won, but they didn't need to be swept. And that's the premise of this entire video series, showing play by play that LeBron James is, in fact, the reason that they were swept. And without him, the Lakers almost certainly would have won at least one game. Okay, here we go. All right, we're kicking things off almost immediately. After Hachimura hits this nice shot, I want us to go back and take a look at what LeBron is doing on that play versus Hachimura. LeBron did nothing. Well, I have to be careful with my wording because for LeBron James, this is actually a pretty good amount of movement. But it's Rui's movement that actually mattered, that actually resulted in this nice mid-range jumper. We'll come back to Ayton's illegal screen, but because of LeBron James's disrespectful, they out-talent us comments, and for those of you who don't know, I'd better recap really quick. He immediately ran to his podcast with Steve Nash to say that he was great and everybody else sucked, and, that the Thunder were more talented than they were, and that really there was never any hope because of his squad.
We were out-talented, and we played to the maximum ability of our team.
It's a backhanded compliment. It's like, hey, we tried really hard, but, when your team sucks, there's only so much you can do. Nice, LeBron. Real nice. Because of that, I'm having a slightly new angle to this episode. I want to specifically compare LeBron and Hachimura for a little bit. It's one thing for me to just show how bad LeBron is, but it's even worse when I show that his teammates are actually better than him. For the series, LeBron James only led the Lakers in one category, and it's the category that usually means bad news if he's leading. LeBron James's points don't lead to victories. And look at that. Shea had a really bad series, and he was still better than LeBron. But you let Austin Reeves have more blocks than you and more assists than you, and DeAndre Ayton, whom LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith ganged up on to crap on, led with rebounds. But he didn't just lead with rebounds. He led in offensive rebounds, which a viewer was kind enough to point out to me. In fact, he led both teams in offensive rebounds. Okay, continuing with the third period, and I know I'm kind of defending Ayton, but I also have to rip on his screens, which means I'm ripping on the refs. Anyone who said that the refs were favoring the Thunder, no, not in this series at least. I mean, it's crazy what DeAndre Ayton is getting away with in just this very short period of time. These are blatant attempts to trip people. The other team has to hop over the tripping feet. I think the only person who sets more illegal screens than DeAndre Ayton is LeBron James. It's a little bit amusing how he thinks that putting his palms together at his waist somehow negates the fact that he's doing the splits with his legs. That did not make your screen legal. Anyway, this turnover by LeBron James is astonishingly bad. Kevin Harlan says it was intercepted.
That's an interception.
That's a really nice way of saying terrible pass. And right there's one of about a zillion uncalled things that LeBron James gets away with. But I need you to look at Austin Reeves to understand how bad that turnover was. Look at Austin Reeves' motion. Why on earth is the pass over there? If anything, it should have been on the outside of Austin Reeves' right arm. Where LeBron James throws this ball is inexplicably bad.
The other way, Hachimura from behind, and he gets it to go.
So Hachimura trying to chase down and make up for LeBron's mistake makes me want to also talk about defensive assignments, which we will. But let's put the scorecard back up because LeBron James just gave up the opportunity for points on the offensive end, and also that led directly to points for the other team on the other end. How many times have we heard announcers say that you can't make mistakes against this Thunder defense? Well, you'd think that the team leader might be the guy that you can count on not to do that. But instead, he's the one you can count on to do that. Okay, moving along, here is LeBron's one assist of the third period. And I don't think it's an assist. We've talked about this many times. The pass did not lead directly to the points. Hachimura had to pump fake, dribble around, create his own shot. He made LeBron James look good by nailing yet another jumper. 1 assist and 1 turnover in this period for LeBron James. And that turnover led directly to points for the other team. And the assist didn't count. Shouldn't have counted. All right, let's talk about defense for a little bit. Hachimura is on Mitchell. Then he switches on to Shea. Chases Shea around. Now let me hit pause. Look at flat-foot James. This is what he's been doing the entire sequence, this entire play. It's what he does almost every play, which is essentially nothing. So not only is Rui performing better offensively, but he's doing more work defensively and on harder defensive assignments. I can't resist. His feet have not moved. Look at all the ground Hachimura's covered. And Hachimura is going to have to run to the corner to contest that open 3 now. What does LeBron do the entire time? That was sort of a trick question because I'll tell you what LeBron James did. After he took a break flat-footed, he completely failed to box out. What's his awareness level of Hartenstein? And how about the fact that Dort is leaving? Now DeAndre Ayton has to go out to contest the corner shot. LeBron, you got one person to deal with, and you let him move right into perfect offensive rebounding position. So what's LeBron do? He puts him in an arm bar, not called. So Hartenstein has to get a one-armed rebound. Once again, that's a foul. That's over the back. Uncalled. Jesus. And LeBron's the one who's upset. Oh, man. I shouldn't have to continue. Like, the evidence I've put together just for the third period is enough that LeBron James should be laughed out of the league. The first 2 periods on top of that, and then the 4th period, and every game he's played this season. That's 2 more points that the Thunder scored that are LeBron's fault. Period. And that's after his teammates worked hard on defense, trying to prevent the Thunder from scoring. While LeBron James got to take a break, everyone else is running around trying to stop the Thunder. LeBron's taking a break. And LeBron's inability to box out causes all of their effort to be for naught.
To be able to play, at a high level, know that I can still play at that high level, carry a team into the playoffs. We fought and we played it to the maximum ability of our team.
Can you sympathize with me? Say so in the comments. Can you understand why I'm so disgusted with this guy? You did not leave it all out there. You did not play hard. You did not work hard. And after your team did work hard and you blew it, you have the nerve to throw your team under the bus by just being like, hey, we tried, but my guys are shitty. Like, how much do you want out of us? When you don't have any talent and you try hard, it just doesn't add up. Jesus. Okay, a couple of things to look at on this play. One, yet another illegal screen by DeAndre Ayton, and LeBron, once again, doing little to nothing. That's a shoulder hip check. Bam. I mean, look at the impact. Jesus, you can't say that he's not moving. And look at the ref. You couldn't see that, huh? DeAndre Ayton moves to the hoop, and that's actually a pretty good find. Finding Hachimura, who gets the shooter's bounce. I gotta throw some stats at you. DeAndre Ayton, who got trashed, has as many assists in this period as LeBron James. Except Ayton doesn't have a turnover. 0. Ayton also shot 100%. He only took one shot, and he made it. Let's go back to talking about Hachimura for a minute in comparison to LeBron James. Rui hit 4 out of 6 shots, 66.7%. LeBron hit 2 out of 3. It was a good period for him, 66.7. I'll take 4 out of 6 over 2 over 3. Plus, LeBron James had a turnover that led directly to points for the other team. Rui also hit 2 out of 2 of his free throws. LeBron only hit 1 out of 2 of his free throws. And then there's what you don't really see in the box score, the defense, the defensive assignments. Now, fanboys, did I hook you by putting third period on the screen so that you'd say something stupid like, oh, you're only looking at the third period? Yeah, guess what? Rui outperformed LeBron in the other periods as well. In fact, the third period was the closest that LeBron came to being as good as Rui. All right, you're going to have to wait until the fourth period breakdown to see all the plays, but here are the stats. Rui shot 75% to LeBron's 50% in the fourth period and took more difficult shots and more clutch shots. Rui shot 100% from the free throw line. LeBron James only shot 50% from the free throw line. Rui had an offensive and defensive rebound. LeBron had 2 defensive rebounds, and we all know what his rebounds look like. LeBron James also had a turnover. Rui did not. In fact, that turnover was a backbreaker. LeBron had 1 assist in the fourth period. Rui had 0. That's the only statistical category that LeBron James outperformed Rui in the fourth period. They out-talented us. It's Rui's turn to say that despicable line. Because if he said it in reference to LeBron James, it would be accurate. All right, fanboys, you still want to play this game? Where I bait you into thinking, well, it was just that period. Well, so far I've got 50% of the periods. That's pretty good. 50% of being better than the guy who supposedly led the team. That's pretty good. But I got bad news for you. Happened again in the second period. Okay, in the second period, Rui Hachimura had more rebounds. 2 to LeBron James's 0. More assists than LeBron James. 2 assists to LeBron James's 0. More blocks. 1 block to LeBron James's 0. What he had fewer of was turnovers. 0. LeBron James had 2 turnovers in the second period. Wow. Rui only attempted 1 shot. He missed it. LeBron attempted 3, missed all but 1. You want to keep playing this game? Let's switch it up to the first period. Because I did a 33-minute breakdown of the first period. That's how bad LeBron James was in the first period. Rui shot 50% to LeBron's 33%. Now, LeBron did have an assist and a block. Yay! But LeBron's real saving grace in the first period were his 6 rebounds. And we're going to talk about those 6 rebounds right now.
I think he's guarded SGA with some of the best defense that I've seen. Does that impact his...
All right, there's rebound number 1. There's LeBron playing his phantom defense, not really doing anything. There's Rui out on the perimeter guarding Mitchell, actually having to guard someone. And check this out, LeBron has no idea that Dort is already cutting to the basket. Look at his flat-footed stance. He looks to the right. He's looking to box out the referee, apparently. LeBron, did you notice that no one was behind you? Okay, so Marcus Smart moves in to box out Dort. And don't get me wrong, he should. That's what a good teammate does. He sees the opposing team with access to the hoop to get the rebound. You box them out. But let's also understand, LeBron James doesn't have those responsibilities. He is relieved of those responsibilities that I just said were good qualities in a teammate. Ayton is dealing with Hartenstein underneath. Austin Reeves, I guess, is going to stand in front of Chet. LeBron is doing nothing but waiting for the easy rebound that comes because of the work the rest of his team did. Now, you fanboys say some pretty disgusting and pathetic and embarrassing things in order to try and defend these rebounds. Let's understand that that's his best statistical category in the first period. And those stats only exist because he's allowed to not play defense, and the rest of the team has to box everyone out while he boxes no one out. I guess I need to be careful when I use the word meaningless. Rebounds aren't meaningless, but in terms of showing value as a teammate, these rebounds could be grabbed by anyone. Imagine if LeBron had to go in and do the dirty work while Ayton stood around and scooped up the easy rebounds. On paper, all of a sudden, you don't have anything to complain about with Ayton. And another way LeBron is notorious for getting rebounds is from taking them from his own teammates. And once again, look where Austin Reeves came from. Austin Reeves has to cut through and actually boxes out a Thunder player. His arms are outstretched. He's ready to get the rebound. LeBron, who didn't box out anyone, steals it from him. Similar situation on this one. LeBron James takes it from his center. Gee, that's not going to help DeAndre's stats. LeBron James is stat padding himself while DeAndre is getting ridiculed in the media. LeBron is just ruthless. He does not give a shit about anyone but himself. It's all about what will make him look good in the box score. And he doesn't even look good in the box score, even after all that assistance. But if he cared about his teammates, right here, he'd be like, here, DeAndre, go ahead, you take that. You're in position. They're beating you up in the media. Let's help your stats out a little bit. No, you're not going to get that from LeBron. Making matters worse, adding insult to injury, we have to listen to Dwayne Wade. This is what Wade was saying during that sequence.
Got to get his teammates involved, but right now he's trying to lead by example.
Leading by example, by stealing stats from his teammates, getting teammates involved by letting them do all the work. Well, you would hope that I ran out of examples. On the contrary, it gets worse. Did you see that? Let's look at it again. And the only thing LeBron needs to do is worry about boxing out the Thunder player on the perimeter. He's already got Austin Reeves and other Lakers that are in rebounding position. Instead, he swoops in and literally takes it away from Austin Reeves. That's over the back on his own teammate. And once again, adding insult to injury, we have to hear Kevin Harlan celebrate him for it.
Over Ayton. Rebound James. He's got 4 already.
All right, the next one, his 5th rebound, is an interesting one because it comes after a block. And I gave him credit for that block in my first period breakdown. Fanboys, sorry, that's the only good thing he did, but take it. Anyway, I guess getting the loose ball after a block is a rebound because it was credited here. And here's the final rebound. Once again, let's take a look. Wow, LeBron, great job on defense there and boxing out ghosts. And you see Marcus Smart is fighting against Hartenstein, so LeBron can get the easy rebound. Way to go, LeBron. Way to lead by example. Anyway, that was quite the side journey that we just went on, looking at the stat comparison between those two and also the eye test between those two. Let's get back to what we were looking at. In fact, I almost forgot to point out this detail. While Rui was doing this, LeBron? Yeah, that's what LeBron was doing.
We were not outworked. We were not outworked. Play, at a high level. Know that I can still play at that high level.
In case you're wondering why the camera was moving so much, there's a turnover here. Shea steals it from Austin. I'm sure you can already guess how much effort LeBron was going to put into that. Ayton, on the other hand, is getting ready to defend. Marcus Smart sees what's going on. And Marcus Smart from over there, he sees Mitchell going and realizes that's where he needs to go. And he sprints down there and nearly gets this block. They actually called a goaltending on him. That's how close he came. Now wrap your head around this. As Marcus Smart brings the ball back up after all that effort, LeBron is in the place that he was before. Hey, I know, fanboys. You have all the excuses in the world. Bottom line is, this isn't what a leader looks like. This isn't what inspiration looks like. This isn't what leaving it all on the floor looks like. I need you to understand, he did not go down on defense. That's where he was on the last offensive possession. He rested there until the team got back, and then he didn't move again. I had to pause it here to avoid copyright because he didn't move for so long. He still hasn't moved. The team once again scores without him being involved whatsoever.
To be able to play, at a high level, know that I can still play at that high level, carry a team into the playoffs.
I'm continuing with the game. Here's the next offensive possession for the Lakers. How many of these do you have to see that he doesn't do anything before you realize it's absurd to call yourself the leader? At the other end, LeBron's sitting in the corner again, telling other people what they should go and do. That's a decent effort by Ayton. What was happening before that? Well, he was guarding Hartenstein, and LeBron was not moving, but he said, hey, go run over there, because I'm sure as hell not going to. And I'm not saying that this is LeBron's guy that he should have ran over to guard. I'm just saying, what's LeBron doing? Ever. But, hold on to your seatbelts, LeBron finally switches from being motionless and does something. Missed a layup is what he did. I don't know what they blew the whistle on. Oh, God, of course he has to act hurt. We will never see a replay of that bailout call, and the announcers won't talk about the fact that he barely gets rim on this. An all-time great. Another way that you know this is a bailout call and that there was no foul is that LeBron James isn't having a temper tantrum. Every now and then, when he doesn't get touched, he doesn't complain. Sometimes he complains even when he doesn't get touched. But if he doesn't complain, you know he didn't get touched. So I need to note that 1 out of LeBron James's 2 free throw points came from a bailout call. And the one he didn't make, he nearly airballed. Rebounds in the NBA are so embarrassing.
Shot clock at 6. The quick double. Smart in the side. Hachimura 3. The quick double. Smart in the side. Hachimura 3.
This pass, by the way, is trash. Like, there's no excuse for it to land at his feet. Smart makes LeBron look good again by keeping that moving over to Hachimura. All right, LeBron finally scores. Oh, God. I don't know about that screen by Kennard there. Jeez. But every dog has his day. LeBron finally makes a shot off of an illegal screen, which still leaves him 2 made buckets and 5 points behind Rui Hachimura for the third period. Reeves comes around this screen and has the vision to throw it to Hayes. It's actually not that big of a deal. I mean, it's what you should do. But if LeBron had thrown it, they'd talk about it forever. All right, so more of JJ's coaching strategy. Now he's got Kennard on Shea. That's actually pretty good defense. I mean, you got to feel a little bit bad for him. But what I do know is look at LeBron. Once again, not doing much of anything while the rest of the team takes on the tough assignments and is going to take the blame. Look at Caruso disrespecting LeBron's shot here. We were talking the other day about LeBron's three-point percentage, and I was like, yeah, it's because no one guards him that it's improved at all. I mean, did you see how wide open he was? And other teams just choose to live with it. They're like, well, every now and then he's going to make some. But if LeBron James was like an actual good three-point shooter, you would never give him space like this. But congratulations, fanboys. There's his second shot of the period and the last shot of the period. And you guys know how narcissists are. One good thing happens and they think that they're gods. I think that the backboard's going to file a lawsuit for this shot. I mean, that's an assault. Good God. And folks, this is why he usually is given a lot of space. At the other end, he is absolutely mangled by Wallace.
To be able to play, at a high level, know that I can still play at that high level, carry a team into the playoffs.
The Lakers were forced to foul because of LeBron's blown defense. So I'm going to also credit these free throw points to LeBron's blown defense. And LeBron was taken out during those free throws. Let's see what happens.
Kennard vacuums it in. 3. Got it. And Wallace picks up the foul. Austin Reeves, plenty of time. Switch. Gilgeous-Alexander there.
Taking those shots, he's going to be.
And the 3 points were 17. On 9.
That's got to be like a record. The speed at which they cut that from a 6-point lead to a 1-point lead with LeBron James on the bench.
Here they are. Gilgeous-Alexander sneaking free. 15-footer. Reeves detonates. Drives. Got it.
This is what I'm talking about right here. One of the best shot blockers in the league.
Caruso, he'll explode into the paint. Go into Ayton, scoop it off. Rebound, Kennard. Caruso there,
Goes into his chest.
Lakers at the line have now gone 19.
I feel like pulling a Stephen A. Smith and saying, put everybody up on the screen so they can see me when I tell them this. LeBron James was taken out of the game. The Lakers not only erased the deficit, but took the lead in a record amount of time. Do not tell me that any team in this league needs that man on their team, when it's evident that what every team needs is for him to sit on the bench, including his own team. That's DeAndre Ayton defending during that stretch, by the way, Stephen A. Smith. Let me say something about Austin Reeves, because there are a lot of mixed feelings about him. I have my own. Like, he's become very unlikable. He's picked up some bad behavioral habits while playing under the tutelage of LeBron James. But let me tell you something. This guy's not afraid of the moment. He is not afraid of the three-point shot in the clutch. He is not afraid of taking it to the rim. He gets it done somehow. I gotta admit, Austin Reeves has been the catalyst for the Lakers while LeBron James was on the bench. Get out of the way, LeBron James. Austin Reeves is a better leader than you are. And I got to say something about Stephen A. Smith and the rest of them. You're lying intentionally. I just don't believe that you can't see what I just showed. I mean, that was a massive change in the team. And I showed it in the second period. And I showed it in the game before, and the game before, and the game before. The Lakers are always better when LeBron James isn't on the floor. And there's not a chance in hell that you, at some point in time, have not seen that. It's not just that the Lakers were better without him on the floor. They turned everything around in a record amount of time. And you can argue against me. You know, I mean, that's what his job is, right? To debate and be controversial. So present your side of the argument of what took place just then in that very short period of time that was required for LeBron James to get out of the way in order for the Lakers to be successful. Go ahead and present your side of the argument. But here's the cowardly and most disgusting part of people like Stephen A. Smith. They act like it didn't happen. They don't even talk about it. They don't even acknowledge it. And I've got other bad news for you, Stephen A. Smith. DeAndre Ayton was on the floor during that. Jackson Hayes didn't come in until the end of that run by the Lakers.
Like here in this arena.
Mitchell drives, plunges. Rui had 21 in game 3.
All right, JJ, as a part of his contractual agreement with LeBron James, getting that coaching position, puts LeBron James back in on the second free throw, even though the Lakers were doing great without him. But furthermore, I bet you LeBron fanboys will be like, look, the Lakers took the lead with LeBron back in the game.
Blocking a 7-footer.
Yeah, I'm beating that up. But
Addition of Hartenstein. He's had to guard on the perimeter. He's taken that chance.
Oops, fanboys. They just lost it again.
Hachimura's out. Smart is in. Caruso out. Oh,
Let's hear the over-the-top praise for Kennard's pass, the way they would have if LeBron had passed that.
that's it. Kennard will drive into Wallace. Reverse.
We were out-talented. You know, we fought and we played to the maximum ability of our team.
By 2. Reeves against Wallace. Reeves. Oh, tipped in by Hayes.
You know, we fought and we played to the maximum ability of our team.
And that brings us to the end of the third observation, James, coming up the court last, standing around at the perimeter, while the effort of his teammates lead to them scoring again. They go into the fourth period with a 4-point lead, and none of that is thanks to him. This image to me is so appropriate, and it's so contradictory to his press conferences and his podcasting. I already said in a rant, he needs to stop saying we. Stop talking about yourself as if you're part of this team, as if you're part of this group. LeBron James, you sacrificed the Lakers franchise and every one of your teammates for yourself. Let me do a little house cleaning with the stats as we wrap up my third period breakdown. It was not just Rui Hachimura that outperformed LeBron James. DeAndre Ayton only got one shot attempt, but he made it 100%. Luke Kennard, 2 shot attempts, both of them when LeBron James was out, 100%. Jackson Hayes, 3 for 3, 100%. The worst one on the list is Austin Reeves, who shot a terrible 50%. Why aren't people like Stephen A. Smith mentioning this? What else do you want from your teammates? That's an incredible shooting percentage from the teammates. And the most positive thing that happened in that period happened when LeBron James was on the bench. 4th period coming up. Let me know what you thought.